Hey guys, welcome to the final episode of Season 3, episode 150. Today we are pivoting. We are talking about how I make money. It's a question I get a lot, and I think a lot of people are curious about it, so I thought it would be a good way to wind up this season. Let's untangle it. I'm Hillary Erickson, the curly head behind the Pulling Curls podcast, where we untangle pregnancy, parenting, home, and even travel. We know there's no right answer for every family, but hopefully we can spark some ideas that will work for yours. Life's tangled, just like my hair. Okay, guys, before we get started, I don't know if you understand how important reviews are in order for podcasts to get found, but they're super important. I mean, I'm going to explain a lot of other things today, but let me just explain that reviews are super important. Thank you for everyone who's left one or who will leave one. Before we get started, I will say this is super awkward. I mean, I have always been really open about how much I'm making, what our family budget is. I have a family budget of our actual family budget that's on my website. So I think finances are really important to be like free and open with, but it is still awkward. And I'm definitely not doing this to be like, haha, look how much money I make. Because you guys, let's all take a reality check. Remember that my website was started in 2005. And while I did start amping it up really hard in 2014, you've got to think it's been 2014 until now that I'm more stabilized in all these different kinds of things. The website did not start making money overnight. From about 2005 to 2014, probably in like 2008, I think I started having Blog Her advertising on my site, and I would make about $30 every 4 months. Yeah. So highly lucrative. I remember once I was able to go buy a bra and I felt really good about that. So I did it for a long time because I love it. I still love it. It's a great job. I absolutely love it. I love writing. I love graphic design. I love like talking to different kinds of people. So I am doing the things that I really enjoy. So often I have friends that are like, how do I make money blogging? And I'm like, oh, do you love to write? Nope. Oh, do you love graphic design? Nope. I'm just like, I have nothing for you. Then I don't know why you would pick this job. It'd be like, oh, I want to be a nurse. Oh, do you like blood? Nope. Do you like people? Nope. You know, I do think that there are things you need to love in order to be able to do this. And this isn't say that you couldn't have a website, but if you want to be a blogger, which I think is officially my title, although I like to call it a media empire, if you want to be a blogger, you really need to love writing. But you can be a YouTuber and really love video. You know, there's lots of things you can do. So first, I want to start out that there are 4 streams of income for me personally. Now, there might be other types of income that people online are making money from, but these are the 4 main ones. So the first one is advertising. For me, that is ads on my website. I do not have sponsored ads on the podcast. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to sponsored ads on the podcast, but I don't think that my podcast actually gets enough listens at this point in time in order to make that an amount that I would be okay with, because I would be putting those people's links on the podcast and I want it to be a certain amount in order to put a link on my website. So I'm kind of weird about that. Plus, I sponsor each episode by my courses, and we're going to talk about that. But advertising, just full disclosure, I'm with a company called Mediavine. I've been with them for a super long time. I love them. I think they have blogging's best interest at heart. I still think they're kind of weird, and every once in a while I feel a little skeevy and sketchy about them. But ultimately, I think they're the best advertising network out there because they are themselves. So whenever I have a problem, they're able to fix it really quickly, whereas a lot of advertising agencies are part of like a bigger advertising agency. And so they aren't able to pivot and quickly fix things that might be problematic. So love Mediavine. I believe you have to have 50,000, I think it's sessions, could be page views, in order to be on Mediavine. If you have less than that, you could check out as Zoic. But I think you need to be really aware that it's not going to be a whole lot of money that you're leaving on the table by not having ads on before you get to that 50,000. It would be about $1,000 a month, I think, if you had 50,000 sessions. Yeah. So, okay. So that's advertising. There are lots of ads you can put on your website that I choose not to because I really see my websites as a way to lead people to my courses. And so while I think most people are blind to most advertising, there's some that I just find too intrusive that I don't put on. So I could make more on advertising on my website, but I feel like it's a happy medium. I do have it on both websites. I should mention this. I have 2 websites. So I have Pulling Curls, which is my main website. That's the one that's been around since 2005. And in 2020, I started The Pregnancy Nurse, which is my second website. It's only pregnancy and it has social media and all those different things as well. So Yeah. Anyway, both sites have advertising. I will say that if you make a second site, it can sometimes be a little bit easier to get them on the advertising just because I have a relationship with Mediavine. But their line is that you have to have 50,000 first or second site. So something to think about. Okay. So the second stream of income would be affiliate income. And I think this is what is, when I started affiliate income, I was like, is this an MLM? Because it sort of can feel MLM-y, but ultimately I am just advertising for these people in a genuine and honest way. And I'm paid if people click through my links and purchase this product through that advertising. So ultimately, I'm just an advertiser for them. I partner with them. You know, some of these companies I'm really close with. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm really tight with Getaway Today. They are in every single Disney post I do. And I mean, I'm so tightly tethered with them that if they went down, it would be a rough go for my Disney posts in general. So the affiliate companies that I work with are pretty limited at this point. I mean, I've signed up and I work for a lot of affiliate partnerships, but in general, the ones I work with, Getaway Today, Bosch Mixers, Stitch Fix, Zion Healthshare. I am an affiliate partner for them. You know, it's just a company that you believe in. These are all things that I used before with the exception of Bosch. I didn't use a Bosch until they sent me a Bosch. Full disclosure. But these are things I've used Getaway Today forever. So when I found out that they had an affiliate program, I was like, this is just absolutely perfect. By the way, if you go with Getaway Today and book a package with at least 2 nights hotel and 2 tickets, you can get $10 off your ticket order with code CURLS10. Anyway, they're just companies I love. So I'm tethered with them. There are ones that I use every once in a while that aren't, you know, as close to me. Oh, there's some courses that I affiliate with that blend well with mine, like parents who are looking for newborn classes or breastfeeding classes. So I work with those in an affiliate partnership as well. And then they affiliate with me. So that's kind of a symbiotic relationship with those courses. If you have something that you want to affiliate with, I mean, you could affiliate just on your own Instagram. You just want to Google. So let's say you love Bic pens and you really want to be an affiliate with them. You could just Google Bic pen affiliate and just see what they have showing up. Most of them are on like big affiliate networks like ShareASale, Commission Junction, Impact Radius. And once you're in those, you can usually sign up for another program pretty easily. Yeah. And these can be pretty lucrative, you know, if you play your cards right. I will say that my affiliate usage has gone down the more I have worked on the third income stream, which is my own products, which for me in general would be courses, although I do have a few books that I sell as well. So my courses, I have an online prenatal class, I have the organized home, it's a home organization class, and I have a family routines, more like organizing the people in your home. I always say that I don't think I'm a great parent, but I think I can organize the people in my home pretty well. So that's my third income stream. It is my largest stream. It's about 66% of my income. I started my prenatal class in 2015. It started as a book, then I added a few videos, then I added more videos. So the beauty is with a course is you can always adjust it and change it and make it better. So, and then finally, sponsored posts. Now, I do not do a lot of sponsored posts anymore. Every once in a while, I work with Cricut and I do one. But in general, I just prefer affiliate because it's a little bit freer to explore the brand as I want to, whereas a sponsored post often is very like, you need to say XYZ, and I don't love doing that. I'm also lucky that my courses have filled in my income enough to where I don't need to do them. I definitely did a lot of sponsored posts in the beginning, and I'm grateful for the income, and some of those companies I'm really proud to have been able to represent, and some of them have disappeared, or I would prefer that I didn't represent them. So I know a lot of people want to know how long it took to make a full-time income off of this. So personally, in my mind, I think a full-time income is about $60,000 a year. That would be a full-time nurse's income in general, plus or minus, probably more now, thank goodness. But it probably took me into 2017 to start making that, I would think, about 3 years, keeping in mind that I also had years and years of blog experience and all that kind of stuff leading up to it. And back when I started, it was just easier on social media than it is now. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is difficult, and it's a lot more difficult now than it used to be. So we've talked about the ways that I make money. I do want to just kind of take you guys along for the costs that are involved with this type of a website media thing. First off, you have hosting. So I host a podcast, I host my website, and I host courses. Those are all on separate different hosting platforms. That's not a huge amount of money. And I bundle tech into my website hosting so that he fixes anything that goes wrong with my site. I did that for myself for a long time, but it takes me forever. It's not something I'm very good at or know very well. And so having a tech guy has been amazing, and he's awesome. I work with Thane from WPTechs. I'll put the link in the show notes. Anyway, he's amazing. I have a CPA and I pay for accounting software. I do all of my own bookkeeping. I do not hire any of that out. I do hire out my taxes. I have a guy that I trust who I have as a CPA. So the CPA was my first hire and a tech guy was probably my second hire. They don't work for me. I'm hiring their companies. But, for a long time, I did all of this on my own. In fact, I didn't have hosting for a long time because I was on Blogger for the first almost year. And then I finally took the plunge and bought hosting and all that kind of stuff to make it go on WordPress. So I would not recommend being on Blogger anymore. It has not proved super effective for most of them, even though there were a lot of diehard Blogger fans out there, especially if you have advertising. It just is so much better when you're on WordPress. It will pay for itself if you get some hosting. Okay, I also have 2 virtual assistants that work for me. One of them does Pinterest and she edits some of my posts for SEO. I have another one that also scans my email for me. She tries to take out any of the negative comments because they can really bring a person down. And she also does some editing for me. So those are the 2 people. Oh, and I also, one of my sons, I have him hired on to do video editing. He does all of the video editing. He does a great job. If anyone is looking for a video editor, I could probably get you one at a good price. Just real simple editing, but he does a great job. And he actually has his own YouTube channel that he's, along the way where he was editing my videos, he learned how to edit his own videos and he's monetized. I am not monetized and that is not an area for discussion. And I also hire my daughter. She does the transcripts for the podcast. So hiring your kids, especially when they're under 18, can be an amazing write-off. So talk to your CPA if you want to do that. I also have insurance. I have liability insurance and cyber liability for the websites and all my social media. I am buying plugins or software to just run different things. Like I have some software that helps me with my SEO, which is search engine optimization. I use Rank IQ, which I absolutely love. I use a calendar program to schedule people for the podcast. It's just different things. I am a huge fan of getting lifetime licenses, which I often get off of AppSumo or just when people are offering a lifetime license. I just love paying for it. I mean, it has come back to bite me a couple times, but there are some software that I bought a lifetime license for that have just been amazing for me. So I'm really grateful for that. And then there's the cost of taking courses and going to conferences. And that's a real variable cost. And I also find a lot of joy out of going to conferences. So that's nice too. And I try not to take courses anymore. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but I definitely have taken courses and some of them have been helpful. Some of them have not. And then legal. Jamie at #legal does my trademark applications. She's written terms for my classes, terms for my websites, my privacy policy, that kind of stuff. Not that it's not important at all, but it sure doesn't seem important. Okay, so I mostly want you guys to know that it is a slow game. My website from 2015 till now has been about the same number of sessions. It hasn't grown. 2020 was a huge year for online courses and it has shrunk since then. And so that can be disappointing. But one thing I'm big about is I have a big ultimate goal, especially for prenatal classes. I am super passionate about educating people for their delivery, if they can pay me or not. By the way, if you're out there and you're looking for prenatal class and mine is out of your reach, although it is one of the most affordable ones online, please email me. We can make something work. It is a huge passion of mine. And so I love that. The other thing is you have to be really mindful about the requirements and everything, how to disclose your affiliate agreements, how to do that on your website, how to do that on TikTok, how to do that on Instagram, and just being really clear and open and honest and upfront with your audience. I've heard of people hiding the disclosure tab on Instagram stories or stuff like that. Not cool. That's not cool because not only do they not trust their audience enough to know that they're being honest with what they're showing them, but it's not cool to the FTC. That's for sure. You could definitely get taken down for that. So also learning how to read contracts and when you need a trademark, when you don't, when you need to turn into an LLC. There's a lot of the business practices behind it that can be really frustrating and hard. So as fun as it seems to be a media empire mogul like me, there is a lot of behind the scenes website breaking. Thank goodness I have tech. Just reading the contracts, writing the contracts, and just trying to make it work. I work with affiliates and sometimes they work out great and sometimes they do absolutely nothing at all. So that can be hard and frustrating. And there are a lot of frustrating parts of owning your business. It is amazing. I love that. One of the other frustrating parts is a lot of times people think that I'm just available. Because she just blogs. I think people think the website just makes money. And it does. In general, there is not a whole lot in my day-to-day that is affecting my website income. It is just the day-to-day that piles up and creates the income. I think a lot of people think I just work a couple hours a day. I would say that this is a 6 to 8 hour a day job. Not every day. I definitely take enough vacation to be like a C-suite employee. So I'm probably off 4 to 5 weeks out of the year. I take off, but I'm also on at 8 p.m. If I see an email come through that somebody's having a hard time getting on a course, I jump up and I work on it. That doesn't mean to say that my VA doesn't do a lot of those different things too, but also like I feel on and present for this all the time. So going out of town is really important to me because it helps me feel when I'm not at home that it is more of like time off and I'm able to take that time off. Okay, so let's circle back to blogging courses. Ultimately, I feel like blogging courses make it sort of like an MLM. Because I feel like people will be like, I've been thinking about doing like a Disney Instagram or whatever. And somehow something shows up in your feed. It's a bajillion-dollar course on how to be more present on Instagram or stuff like that. And I feel like they act like it's so easy and that anyone, a monkey could do it. And then you buy that course and you realize that it really is just a lot of consistency. I mean, I really feel like this boils down to showing up, being willing to try new things, and having your own voice. I feel like those are the three things that it boils down to. Because while I do similar content to a lot of people, my own voice is what makes Pulling Curls and the Pregnancy Nurse different than everybody else. And, most of those I really couldn't learn from a course. I will say that I did take a course in summer 2020. Did not work out well. She said some horrible things about me when I said that the course wasn't working. And that has stayed in my brain. And sometimes I think, well, she mentioned that I should do this and that I would make more money doing XYZ. And I'll try it. And it almost always ends up like biting me in the butt. So learning to listen to myself is something that I'm really trying in 2022. It's so easy to think that somebody else has the big secrets, right? And I think that that is true. If there's something that you're just like, I have no idea how to make a segmented newsletter, then I do think a course or some coaching can be very effective on a specific topic that you are struggling with. However, when you've done this as long as me, I feel like there just isn't a whole lot that other people can offer. And the reality is that it is 100% the consistency of showing up. I think a lot of people think they could be an quote unquote influencer or a blogger and that it would just take a few hours, but it is a 6 to 8 hour a day job. Now, I do take probably a full 4 to 5 weeks of vacation if you combine it all, where I go somewhere or, and I can fit in lunch with a friend or I can fit in walking with a friend. But a lot of times when I go walking with friends, I'm walking with like business friends. And so I'm talking business during the time. So yeah. And also, this job never leaves. At 8 p.m. when I get an email from a student saying they can't log in, like I jump off the couch and I fix it. So I'm still working even though... So my normal hours that I'm probably working is probably about 5:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, within that time, I get dressed, I shower. So I get up and I like do some intention about my business and kind of make my to-do list and really focus on what I want to do. I get kids off to school and I really like having different things in my day. So I really like breaking up writing with throwing in some laundry. I like that. A lot of people don't, but I do like that. So I'm not doing a ton of my housework. That is a podcast for another day, but I like being able to put in household chores during the day. So one other thing I wanted to mention, you guys, is I actually am starting an online content creation coaching of my own. It's HillaryErickson.com. Hillary only has one L, HillaryErickson.com. And the idea is for me to coach you on a specific subject, and then we'll do a follow-up email, like if you have questions after you've tried to implement it, and then you're on your own. The idea isn't for me to get you to spend like thousands and thousands of dollars making me your monthly business coach. The idea is just to, really help you. Let's say you want to do a newsletter. Like I'm really good on segmented newsletters because I literally write about everything. So I don't want people who sign up for Disney to learn about pregnancy. Like those people don't want to know about both of those things. So newsletters, like websites, landing pages. These are things that I'm all just like really good on. And while I don't think I know any secrets, I could either go in and make some tweaks or give you some ideas on how to adjust it on your own or how to test things with your audience. I know online courses everyone thinks is like the be all end all, but I think especially if you've done something in your own situation, you already have some information on your own, an online coach can really help you take that information and make it work in your business. Anyway, you can find me over there. It's not going to be a big revenue stream extreme for me, but I think I do have a lot of information that business owners could use. I also failed to mention that I actually have a blogging for income section of my website. If you look under etc. or miscellaneous, it's kind of hidden. There's a blogging for income section where I give my blogging income reports up until I started making $10,000 a month, and it just felt weird. So that might give you an idea of what I did, how it worked. I tell you like all the plugins and all the things I started using, although it's different now, but you guys might be interested in that as well. Anyway, that's how I make money. Remember, consistency. Remember to be your own voice and to try different things. Because for a long time, I mean like a year, I hadn't been in it forever. I was like, I'm never going to write a book. I'm never going to have courses. I'm never going to have a podcast. You know, I tried some of the things and I just thought, yeah, that's something I really enjoy. Keep it to things you enjoy. Also, it would be my fourth pillar, I guess. Be consistent, be you, try new things, and then do things you enjoy. Because so often I see people that are like, I just want to be home with my family and that's the way I'm going to make money. But they don't love doing it. And you're going to burn out so fast. The other thing that I think has helped me from not burning out so fast is that I literally write about everything. I can hardly even think, maybe sports, because I don't understand sports, nor do I enjoy them. But I really write about travel, Disney, vaginas, pregnancy. Like if I get up and I'm like assigned, quote unquote assigned, because I do assign myself stuff, a certain topic, I can push that to another day and write about Disneyland if that's something that I really want to do that day. And so it's been nice to do that. I know a lot of people say you can't build a website that's about anything, and maybe you can anymore. I started when it was earlier, but it's really nice to be able to do whatever the heck I want because I talk about all the things. Anyway, hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, come join me over on Instagram for the post about today's episode. I would love for you to make a comment. Tell me what you enjoyed about this episode. If you want to hear more, I'm willing to do a part 2 if you guys have other questions. Otherwise, we are actually taking next week off, prepping for season 4, but we will see you in 2 weeks. I'm actually having Jen Hamilton. I don't know if you guys seen her on TikTok, but we are talking about labor supplies. And then the week after that, we're talking about spanking. So season 4 has a lot to offer already. I hope I will see you guys inside. Thanks so much for joining us on today's episode. We know you have lots of options for your ears, and we are glad that you chose us. We drop episodes weekly, and until next time, we hope you have a tangle-free day.